Hello YouTube, it's Tony. So today I'll show you a guide on the Anachronia base camp. Similar to player-owned ports, this is a management mini-game. Now there are no requirements for this. However, I highly suggest you unlock this as soon as possible because there's a massive time gate for this and it offers you nice boosts. You want to start on the shore of the dig site, which I've marked this right on the mini-map. Now you have to sail the boat in order to travel there. When you've sailed the Stormbreaker, you'll now arrive at the island. In order to get around this island, you have to navigate various objects. What you're going to do is just investigate them as you walk along. It took me around 15 minutes to get around here the first time, so just please be patient with this. Yeah, so it's mostly cutscene content. When the cutscene is over, you can now talk to Giles for the tutorial. Just run through every chat option and then click the flashing icons. So your character will now quickly gather the resources and you can skip the time. Finally, you can build the base camp and you should pretty much understand the very basics by now. Unfortunately for the Anachronia lodestone, you cannot unlock this just yet. As soon as you complete the tutorial, Giles is now located east of the lodestone right inside the general store. At this point, you can freely manage the base camp. There are several buildings on the list you can unlock, including the lodestone and the bank chest. There are 6 different base camp resources in total, and you get to choose which workers will go for which resources. You'll start off with a total of 10 workers. Because it takes a while to get here, I highly suggest you unlock the lodestone as soon as possible. Put all 10 workers gathering clay. This should take you around 30 minutes to get enough. Here are the mechanics for base camp. Now, this is mostly a waiting game as I said before, but no, you do not need to be logged in order to get the resources. The resources are used for unlocking plus upgrading the buildings. Now every upgrade and unlock will only require 3 out of the 6 listed resources. There are 3 tier unlocks of every building, which are based on the number of stars. Unlike Miscellanea, there is no maintenance fee. Each worker will gather 60 resources per hour, and they'll deliver them on 10-minute intervals. Now the resource cap is based on the storage building tier, so do not abandon this area for an entire week at first. I don't know, just check it every single day or something like that. By doing various activities throughout this island, you'll gather what are called compacted resources. Unfortunately, they're not really common and they only give you 100-300 resources. So Tony, which buildings should you unlock? I know some people like to do the bank chest first, but I personally don't find this as a good bank teleport. I mean, if you really want it, just by all means go ahead and buy this. Here is the listed order I suggest, plus the worker distribution on the resources. I've also listed you how many hours it takes for each step. So in general, you want to focus on the 3 core buildings. If you're going in this order, it requires the previous upgrade in order to go to the next upgrade. This way, it maximizes the resource output per hour, as your ultimate goal is to go after Sleeping Quarters Tier 3. Otherwise, if you don't do that, it'll take you a really long time to gather all the resources for other buildings. In order to get all of these buildings listed here, this will take you almost 37 days. You have to fully upgrade the Town Hall for the Completionist Cape requirement, and then for Trim Completionist Cape, you have to build all the buildings. However, luckily for you, there is a grace period, which will end on October 1st, 2019. On the RS Wiki, there are a list of buildings you can unlock. Unfortunately, the information is not fully complete, as nobody at this moment knows how much it requires for a Tier 3 building. I'm just going to run through this quickly. Starting with the spa, it increases the agility XP for the Anachronia agility course, and then you also get the Oolog pool benefits, plus it lasts 50% longer. For the Hunter Lodge, you'll get Big Game Hunter bonuses. First, you'll get 10% chance of an extra jungle log or jungle vines. Secondly, the Big Game Hunter creatures will take an extra 2.4 seconds to catch you. And finally, it removes 1 color frog in Big Game Hunter. For the Slayer Lodge, you'll get increased damage against Anachronia creatures. After that, we have the Slayer Helmet stand. It gives you the Slayer Helmet on task bonus without needing to wear the helmet itself. Here is the Player Lodge. There's an increased chance of finding compacted resources. After that, we have the Restore HP, Prayer, and Summoning, and finally the Skill Cape stand. You get to store more Big Game Hunter bait. Tier 3 also acts as a deposit box. And finally, we have multiple deposit boxes throughout Anachronia, which are 4 different locations. With all that being said, you'll get various bonuses in base camp, but like I said, it takes a very long time to unlock each and every single building. That is exactly why you want to start as soon as possible. I know some of you are like, well Tony, wouldn't some buildings be better unlocking first because I want to remove one frog for Bait Game Hunter? I mean, yeah, some bonuses are really nice compared to others, but trust me, in the long term it's more efficient to unlock tier 3 sleeping quarters before you unlock every other building. I do have a spreadsheet calculator for this, and I will leave the link in the description. So yeah, thanks for watching and I hope it helps. If I missed anything, feel free to ask. Also, be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already, because I'll definitely be doing more guides like this in the future.